Welcome to Football Guys Sunday Morning Live. I'm Joey. That's Jagger. That's Jeff. We're here. We love you guys, and we'll be here every Sunday until the end of the season. Jeff, Jagger, how we doing today?
I'm doing great. I told you guys I have a walking treadmill. I got on it for an hour this morning while I did some ranks updates and checked some teams and got the juices flowing. I'm feeling excited for this week. I do want to. I know we are the most watched program for all NFL players that are getting ready for their fantasy lineups. I want to say put positive out in the world today. You guys are going to score touchdowns today. There's going to be points today. We're going to make it happen. There will be points today. We're not doing a repeat of last week.
I love positive, Jeff. I need that this morning. Like I said, I'm dragging this morning, folks. You have those days where you just wake up. What did Fred Durst say? That's one
of those days.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. He's an actor now. Did you know that?
Yep.
He was in, I saw the TV Glow, and I was like, "That's Fred Durst." Wow, look at that. Well, guys, we're here with you today until around 12:30. We've got a great lineup of guests today. As always, our first half hour is he's not a guest; he's a co-host on the show. It's Jeff Bell. We love Jeff. We love kicking him off at noon as well. We also have Zare with us today from 11:30 till noon, and then he'll hop over to the Football Guys Discord to answer any AMA questions that we do not get to. And then for our last half hour, injury expert Adam Hutchinson will be in here breaking down some of the injuries. Let's look at those now. We do have a lot of clarity today compared to most weeks, I'll have to say. Knowing who's out today, Trevor Lawrence and Tank Bigsby for the Jaguars. Are you trusting any other members of this Jaguars offense today, Jagger, with these two big names out?
If you have Brian Thomas Jr., you probably have to put him in your flex. Evan Ingram, I have to play him. So if you have to, then I get it, guys. That's all I have to say is I get it. But if you have replacements, I am definitely looking for replacements for Bo.
Perfect.
And we all hate the matchup, I'm sure. There's a chance that ETN is getting 100% of the work share out of the running back role today. And it's especially with 4 teams on buys. It's hard to put that on the bench unless you really kind of can put that on the bench.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, you don't feel good. I'm sorry, you're gonna feel sad today, but you got to do it.
Yeah, it would take ETN getting 100% of the workload that he's most likely going to get today for me to start him against the Lions. But I do think he's absolutely a start today because of Bigsby being out. So I agree with you, Jeff. Also out in that game, Sam Laporta. So every one of my dynasty teams is tanked for the week. No, he hasn't been really.
I am.
Yeah. Well, you know what I went out and did is I went out and picked up my cousin, Brock Wright, and I put him in a few lineups. How optimistic should I be, Jeff?
I mean, they're playing the Jaguars, and again, everybody's scoring touchdowns this week, so that's on play when they're playing the Jaguars. Shane Zystra, I think, is a name to maybe look out for a little bit. He kind of sneaks in as a little bit more of a receiving option occasionally, so I don't know. I don't love streaming a Lions tight end.
Yeah.
I will say, what's the difference between Brock Wright and Sam Laporta this year? If you really think about it, how disappointing
touchdown.
Been. Yeah.
One makes sense if I buy the jersey because I can be like, oh, my name's on it as a Bucs fan. You're like, oh, but I don't know. Also out today, Noah Fant, another tight end, just not playing today. Isaiah Pacheco, Harrison Butker as well. We normally don't put kickers up here, but he is rostered in quite a few leagues. We'll put Butker up there. So if you've got him, he's in the kitchen. He's not playing today. Keon Coleman also out there, not going to be out there today. And Dalton Kincaid. Jeff, what's up with your Bills? Break it down for me.
Brutal injuries across the board. Maybe we're getting Amari Cooper back. We're going to watch that. But Keon with Dalton Kincaid. There's a lot of K's, similar sounding names, I feel like, with the Bills. With Dalton Kincaid out, Dawson Knox has entered the streaming conversation. I think from what I've seen, people are a little bit too high on it. Maybe he might be the Twitter's favorite player of the week that goes out and scores 3 points, but he is kind of in that streaming conversation.
At my first Football Guys retreat, I put, was it $40 down on a Dalton Kincaid first touchdown. And I never put a bet down to the sportsbook before. It was my first bet. Never put legally down at a sportsbook. And he had the first touchdown of the game. And I won was it $400, Jeff? You were there.
A big number.
Yeah, we all did it. Now I remember, everybody did it. We were all excited. It was a great time. Y'all should have been there, but you're not. You're just watching this here on the show. So probably makes no point for me to mention that.
Was I there? I don't know.
Nope, you weren't hired yet.
You weren't on the team yet.
Dang.
No.
Yeah.
Questionable. Jeff alluded to it. Amari Cooper. We might have him out there. And then CeeDee Lamb, coach of the Cowboys, said he's not particularly worried about Lamb. It's a back injury, but you never know. This year, the inactives and actives and the questionable tags have been so strange. Just make sure you got a little bit of assurance there if you've got CeeDee Lamb. Okay. Expected to play today, Sam Darnold, Aaron Jones. So both those guys should be out there today. T. Higgins, he's running up that hill. So it looks like he'll be out there this week. Devontae Adams, Jalen Warren, and Nico Collins. Before we break these players down, did you guys see the videos of T. Higgins running up the hill?
Yeah.
And good fantastic analysis.
Yeah, I just did a show with Andrew Cooper and I got it live. He's just like, look at this. He's like, out of all the work I do with projections and all this is the real analysis.
Yeah, great friend of the show, Andrew Cooper. It is my favorite thread of the year. It's the perfect line of analysis and humor that it's super hard to thread, and he did it perfectly. So kudos, Andrew Cooper, on that. Jeff, so if you've got T. Higgins, how comfortable are you starting him this week?
Not ultra comfortable. I think he lands in that fringe wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 range. Again, 4 buys. It's forcing some decisions. So it's certainly within the range of outcomes. Jagger and I were talking pre-show about the difficulties of the Chargers defense. So that's a factor, but I think you're probably playing him given everything around this week.
Jagger, I want to ask you about Nico Collins. When Nico Collins was on the field earlier this year, I believe at one point he was the wide receiver 2 on the season. He was putting together a great season on the way. And lately, Tank Dell is starting to come on a little bit. With Nico Collins back, would you expect Tank Dell just to kind of go away, or do you think they can both feed a little bit?
I think they both feed a little bit. We already saw that last season where they both they both can coexist. Moreover, I think Nico Collins led in every EPA efficiency category for wide receivers, where if anything, Tank Dell, I think, just helps this offense be a little bit more efficient in general. But you're feeling like the Texans may get their footing back and turn things around from the disappointment that we've seen all season.
Okay. Not expected to play today, George Kittle. This is probably the closest you'll get to an out without actually being out. The 49ers saying that they're not expecting a player is a lot better than saying, hey, he should be playing and then benching on Monday night. So George Kittle, if you've got him in a tight end, just go ahead and pull him out there. He's not going to be playing. When Adam comes on at noon, we'll kind of pick his brain a little bit about the injury and see what's going on there with Kittle. But guys, if you're here watching us, make sure to like and subscribe. Once again, we'll be here with you till 12:30 today, answering all of your questions. And if you like the looks that we normally have, I see Jeff's got the Football Guys hat on. All the merch in the Football Guys shop is 20% off right now, leading into Black Friday. So go ahead, get in there, and look like some of your favorite Football Guys analysts. They don't have my hair gel in there this time, though. So there won't be that. But guys, let's get into these questions, and maybe I can get Jagger and Jeff laughing today. Oh, look who's first. Citron Physics in here. Oh boy. First in. Good morning, all. Hearing Kittle probably out. Yep, that is correct. Assuming he is. Tyreek, Mooney, Puka. Pick 2. We'll go to Jeff first.
I mean, definitely Puka. I mean, it's Puka and Tyreek. I know we've loved what we've seen from Mooney lately, but again, he had an Achilles injury pop up in the middle of the week. It's Puka, it's Tyreek. Tyreek's getting the Raiders. You just feel like there's got to be a get-right game for Tyreek Hill somewhere.
Perfect. This is Peter's in here this morning. Good morning, Peter. Oh, do you have something to say, Jagger?
I said I moved Tyreek up literally just now because I was like, this seems like Tyreek week. Like who could keep up with Tyreek Hill on the Raiders? Just ask yourself that question.
Yeah, nobody. Disley or Knox? Jagger, we'll go to you for tight end question.
Talked to the tight end whisperer Cooper yesterday, Friday, and Disley I think is a guy to look out for. None of these feel good. This isn't like Disley is gonna go off, but I mean Disley might get you 8 points. So
yeah, and that's kind of when you're streaming tight end, you're just kind of hoping they fall into the end zone.
Yep.
No, hopefully with the ball in their hands.
Hopefully.
Yeah, because if they just fall down the end zone, they don't get anything for that.
Hey,
Lauren here, morning all. The BTJ saga continues. Which narrative is worth buying? BTJ getting right game or Deontay revenge game? Oh, I don't know if I should go to Jeff on this because I know how Jeff feels about the revenge game. Jeff, would you rather play Brian Thomas Jr. or Deontay today?
Deontay Johnson does not belong anywhere near your fantasy football lineups until we are way wrong on that call. I know the matchup against the Steelers, it looks fun. He's I think it was 8% of snaps last week, and it dropped from 30% the week before. It's just, I mean, you see Tylan Wallace seems to have jumped him in back again from previous in the year. And so that's, I don't know. It's a night and day conversation here.
Yeah, I'm down bad. All the Deontay shares that I bought for cheap are even cheaper. But
Do you guys feel like it might come around for him with this offense, or do you feel like it's just too late?
The Tylan Wallace thing makes me feel like he can come around. Let's put it this way: Deontay Johnson isn't a bad player. He's just coming into an offense on week 10. And if you think about how long it took the Ravens in general to get to this point, it took them about half a season to get to this point last year. So I think our expectations might just be low for the rest of the season. So Dynasty, go out and get you some cheap Deontay for next season.
There you go. And then Jagger, I got a quarterback question for you. Darnold, or on the waiver wire, they can go grab Drake May, Matthew Stafford, Anthony Richardson, Jameis Winston. Or would you just roll with Darnold?
I like Drake May a lot, specifically this week as well. Against the LA Rams, they pressure a lot, which I know this is a little bit overthinking, but that means Drake May is going to be running a lot, and that matters. So if you could pick him up anyway, I think that's valuable, but I don't think I would start any of these guys over Darnold besides maybe Stafford. So I'm assuming one QB since all these guys are on the waiver wire.
All right. And before I get to David's question, I want to kind of mention a news story I saw. There is buzz that there's going to be changes in Jacksonville coming after this week, depending on what happens in the game. Most likely means the head coach and the general manager are probably going to be relieved of their duties. So I'm going to get to this BTJ question, but things might get better for him once Trevor Lawrence returns. We might just have to kind of sit on what we get for a little while. But he's trying to decide between Brian Thomas Jr. He could bench him, but he would need to pick two of the following. So basically, here's who he has as his options. One wide receiver, Brian Thomas Jr., Ladd McConkey, Jake Ferguson, Alexander Madison, and Xavier Worthy. So the wide receivers there would be Brian Thomas Jr., McConkey, and Worthy. So pick one of them, Jeff.
McConkey, going up against this Bengals defense that we've seen teams move the ball at will against the Bengals. I'm hopeful for a shootout tonight. I think that it's certainly a chance that Gus Edwards is the driving engine of this Ravens offense in Greg Roman's eyes, and we go back to just slug it out, ground and pound. But I think that when you're looking at potential shootouts here, I think the Chargers and Bengals is on that radar.
And can you pick a flex out of the rest of the people there?
A flex out of the rest. I mean, I'd still play Brian Thomas Jr. in flex over the other options. Going up against the Lions should be some garbage time there. I don't want any part of this Cowboys outside of maybe CeeDee Lamb. Madison's too volatile, and Xavier Worthy might just be a zero. So,
good morning. Flex question. PPR, Quentin Johnston, JSN, Madison, or ETN? And thank you, Dave, for being here. Jagger, pick one.
JSN for me, pretty comfortably.
Roger Benjamin. I like that name.
That's a fun name. Sounds made up almost.
Sounds like a Broadway actor, like Roger Benjamin in Sweeney Todd. I don't know. Calvin Ridley or James Cook in PPR. Jeff?
Ridley for me in PPR. I hate that matchup against the Chiefs. Ridley, Cook, he made his week last week with a very late touchdown against the Colts, but absent that, you'd have 3 out of 4 weeks under 10 points. This is just a brutal matchup.
I think the Bills and Chiefs is a fantasy trap game. I got going over that with Cooper. I was like, the points implied are entirely too high. Yes, so
I think the atmosphere is going to be a lot higher than the points in that game.
Yeah.
All right, Andrew's in here. Ahoy! Easy Sunday morning. Easy like Sunday morning. Am I right? Yeah, a little Lionel Richie. Never hurt anybody. All right, Muncie Mun's in here. Morning, gents. Times are desperate. Oh boy, let me tell you. Have two, hopefully, easy ones for you. Quarterback, Bo Nix or Justin Herbert, and 6-point per passing touchdowns, Jagger?
Bo Nix, still.
Okay. And running back, Rico Dowdle, or I guess that's Jalen Warren. Jalen Warren is expected to play today. Jeff, between those two running backs, which one would you go with?
I still have Rico Dowdle ranked ahead. I don't love it, but I mean, talk about players that could get 100% of the touches. That's in play for Dowdle. Warren, again, I feel like similar with the Bills, Chiefs, Ravens, Steelers could be a fantasy trap game too.
I don't normally chime in. I would start Bo Nix over Justin Herbert, but the next few weeks, Justin Herbert's hands down my favorite streaming quarterback. Like if you were just streaming this season and just kind of riding the waiver wire, Justin Herbert has a really nice road of matchups ahead of him. So, and then it stops right before the playoffs. So it's kind of for nothing. But hey, if you need to get to the playoffs and you're struggling a quarterback, take a look at Justin Herbert if he's out there. All right, Andrew Goodman. Should I start Darnold or Jameis in Superflex, Jagger?
Darnold. I don't love his matchup, but I don't know. Jeff, help me on this. They're almost the same player if you really think about it. Like
Jameis, man, revenge game going into the dome.
Have
big plays.
Have fun. Yeah, have fun. Go with the revenge game. You're going to get 3 touchdowns and or 3 interceptions for either one of these guys. So
play Jameis and the Browns defense, and he could throw touchdowns to both. And there you go.
Well, it is a super flex league, so he does have the option to play Kareem Hunt or Najee Harris. Or would you still play Jameis?
Yeah, I'd still want I'd still want either of those guys.
CPD 13. Which I don't have a card to buy when I'm in Vegas, so somebody else will have to help me out. Morning, guys. Pick one. PPR, Dobbins, DeAndre Hopkins, or Mooney. Thanks. Jeff.
It's Hopkins for me. We talk about the Bills Chiefs being a trap game. I still think that Hopkins has plenty of runway in that game.
Okay. All right. ESM's in here with us. Good morning, ESM. We love seeing you in here. Already laid an egg. Well, congratulations. Hopefully it's a boy. McLaurin was going to play Lamb on Monday night, but we're worried. 1 point per reception. So do you roll with McLaurin or play Lamb for Monday night? And then he's got some other players, it seems, as well.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, he already had
here.
McLaurin.
Lamb, Metcalf, Jennings, or Reed is the way that I'm reading it.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I've got DK Metcalf slightly ahead of CD Lamb in my rankings. So that's probably the direction that I would go.
DK plays pretty well against the 49ers because they don't have anyone who can really cover him back there. So
that feels like the shootout game to me.
It does, actually. Yeah. Are you concerned that Connor Williams retired? That was random. I don't know what happened there, but that offensive line is pretty thin. It was already bad, but like now it's like, yes.
Yeah. But we haven't seen the 49ers quite perform the way that we had in the past on the defensive line. So that eases it a little bit, but yeah, you lose your starting center in the middle of the year to medical retirement. That is surprising.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Faraday, good morning. PPR question starting Jefferson, Kupp, and Dell at wide receiver. Congratulations. Good. Also starting Hunt, Walker, and Dobbins at running back. Would you flex Mooney in place of anyone here?
Maybe Hunt. If you're chasing upside.
I could get there Mooney over Dell, but I don't love the matchup. Matchups would put me Dell over Mooney because that Broncos defense, we've seen them really shut down passing games. So I think you're okay.
Marcelo, you thought he'd be first. Got to be quicker, Marcelo. All right, he's sitting Amon St. Brown. Hasn't had good games against mediocre teams. He's starting Jawan Jennings with Kittle out. Big end zone target.
I don't love that process. That's not how teams that's not how that normally works in there. I get what you're thinking here, but it's normally that they just have a really, really good offense, and sometimes it's not Amon-Ra St. Brown's day. The Lions have the most implied points all season. Vegas thinks they're going to get 30 total points there, so you want every piece of that game as possible.
Yeah, you never sit players because you think the team's going to score too many points.
Yeah.
To piggyback on what these guys said, Amon St. Brown's my wide receiver 1 this week, with Laporta being out, dependable target for Jared Goff, and Jared Goff is at home. And when Jared Goff's at home, you put in all his pass catching options because Jared Goff just knows how to play in Detroit. And I used to think it was just an indoor thing, but no, it is Jared Goff at home. All right, Scott Botcheck. I like that name. Good morning. Which defense do I start this week? Oh, we don't usually get DST questions. Detroit or Green Bay? Jeff, start a defense.
Oh, Detroit all day. Let's give me.
Yeah.
I know the Bears have been awful, but yeah, Detroit against Mac Jones.
It's like, remember everything else I just said about The Lions. It's like, go put that here.
Big Mike, he says he feels like he asks us every week about Tank Dell. Well, we're glad you're here to ask us every week.
I feel like we're right every other week then. If
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah.
I have 4 players on bye. So he's got Tank, Quentin Johnson, and Rico Dowdle to start at wide receiver and flex. Okay. So in PPR, currently staying with Q and Rico. What do you think? So either of those guys over Dell, or Dell over either of those guys?
I would put Dell over Quentin Johnston easily, but that's I don't know if that's my bias.
it might be a little bit your buy. Easily is a big word there, but Johnston's one of those. I mean, you might get that 50-yard touchdown, or you might get nothing. But Dell, you feel better with the volume potential there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Josh Herman with Ernie from Sesame Street. I like that. Good morning. 10-team PPR, 9th place. Oh, sorry about that. Bench Josh Allen for Russ this week. Jagger, you benching Josh Allen?
I wouldn't do that. Because Steelers are always a fantasy trap game. So Josh Allen can run the ball in. So I say it's like a trap game that there's not going to be a lot of points, but Josh Allen still is a good player.
And Jeff, he can play Mike Williams over Drake London. I know you didn't like the Darnell Mooney matchup. Does that extend to London that far?
Do not do that.
Yeah,
Drake one. I know. Certainly Patrick Surtain worries me. I've got London devalued in my rankings, but I mean it's a golf to get to Mike Williams.
And Josh, I will not push you over the ledge. I will talk you back. Please step back from that ledge, my friend. So, all right. CPD. I do feel your pain. Oh, okay. Well, at least we're all in it together. All right. SK Hutchinson, welcome in. Glad to see you again. Good morning. 1 for PPR. In the flex position, Tyler Lockett, Ricky Pearsall, or Andre Estime. It's the waiver wire name of the week. Jeff, where are you going?
PPR. Give me Pearsall in PPR. I think over this shootout potential here. We saw the big play from Pearsall. No Kittle. Should be there for a little bit for the 49ers.
All right. And is this your partner in Pros with Joe's, Jeff?
It is, yes.
Okay, excellent. Good morning, guys. Appreciate your help and all you do. 2 questions. One, in the FFPC is tight end premium. He's a big underdog with Andrews, Knox, or Dell. Who should he play in the spot? Jagger.
Andrews for me. I'm still, I think he's back. I know that likely is around, but I'm not too concerned.
And then in Scott Fishbowl, JSN, Jennings, or Najee, Jeff?
Scott Fishbowl. I like Jennings.
He gets 2, so like JSN and Jennings seem
JSN and Jennings, yeah. And good on him, because I'm starting like 2 random kickers this week in Scott Fishbowl and Braylon Allen. I'm just hurting bad. So good on you to have that choice.
Are you on MFL?
No.
How are you starting 2 kickers?
Kick returners.
Oh, returners. Oh, okay. Sorry. I was like, Jeff.
I have Duvernay and I have Darius Davis starting because I'm just brutal. I'm at 10-10. I'm probably not going to the playoffs.
I'm not either.
I'm 11-9. I might make it. All right. James Swanson.
But if you're 11-9, yeah, you guys.
Yeah, so it's like I'm not really sure if I'm going to or not.
I thought you said James Swanson. I was going to make a joke about an extra game. We're off the rails already.
James Swanson, morning, all. Couple tough decisions: Hunter Henry or a waiver wire tight end like Knox or Disley. I
like Hunter Henry.
Okay. Yeah. And then 2 flex out of Dobbins, McConkey, and Higgins. Jeff.
It's going to be Dobbins and Higgins for me. I don't know that I want to double down on both sides of that Chargers offense, knowing it could go other places. So, yeah.
I'm going to beat my chest a little bit, guys. The question's not coming up. Oh, we're frozen a little bit. I'm trying to get Rachel's question up there, but there we go. There we go. Okay. So Rachel was in the the Thursday night pregame AMA that I do in our Discord, and she asked me if it was safe to start Eckler and Brian Robinson. And I told her, I was like, hey, you know what? I'm having to do it. If you double tap, you'll probably get about 30 points. She got 30.2 points out of both of them. So I was very, very close. Yeah. So
good job,
beat my chest there. So congratulations, Rachel. Hopefully that gave you a little bump this week. Good morning to my favorite people. You're one of our favorite people, hands down. So in the flex, Jagger, Gus Edwards, Matt Collins, or Justice Hill.
I think Gus Edwards, Keaton Mitchell is starting to eat into that Justice Hill role, and I think that'll just end up being Keaton Mitchell's before it's all said and done, or just so gross where it won't matter. So I lean Edwards.
Yeah. Okay, SK Hutchinson's got another one for us. Brian Thomas Jr., Shakir, or Nick Chubb? Jeff.
Give me Chubb. Give me Chubb going up against the Saints. I like that matchup.
Let's see. Epidemic 619. Hola, mis amigos and amigas. Thank you for always providing helpful insight. Thank you for being here with us. Should I start Bo Nix or Russell Wilson? Two good matchups for both of them, I think. Jagger?
Russ for me. Oh,
yep.
Sorry.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I would start Bo Nix, but that's rushing floor for me. But I like Russell Wilson I like any quarterback against Baltimore, so I get it.
Yeah. If I have to break the tie, I'll go with Russ. I have him ranked higher as I looked at my rankings. Sorry, Jagger. Also, one more I need to start. 2 and 1 point PPR. Josh Downs, Brian Robinson, or Jameson Williams versus Jacksonville. Jeff, we'll go to you on that.
I'm confused on the Brian Robinson Jr. Detroit.
Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah,
Brian
okay.
Thomas Jr.
Okay. Give me Jameson. Give me Downs. I am nervous about the Jags offense.
Okay. All right. Andrew in here. That's a good picture. Dealing with buys. Deontay Johnson, John Mechie, or someone like Gabe Davis from waivers. Oh boy, you are dealing with buys. Jagger, pick one of those wide receivers. Forcing you.
I know. Deontay Johnson and John Mechie. It's like, is this where we'd put Deontay Johnson in, Jeff? That's what it feels like.
I would put Gabe Davis because I know he's going to be on the field. I don't know if the other two are even going to be on the field.
That's fair, actually. Like Mechie's actually out now that Nico Collins is in. Like, I think it's Gabe Davis for floor, Deontay for an invisible ceiling, or like a make believe.
I hope Mechie gets another chance somewhere else. I'd love to see him.
I actually think he's going to be the wide receiver 3. I've written about it a couple places this week. Ooh. I think Xavier Hutchinson's the guy that's going to get benched. I think Collins steps back into that role that Hutchinson was in. I think Mechie, we saw him. He was the wide receiver 3 at the end of last year. Robert Woods, he's kind of passed him up in the depth chart. I think Mechie steps into that Diggs role, and I do like him. I just want to see it first.
I love it. Positive Jeff. We like him. He's handsome. All right. I don't know why I said handsome, but hey, you know what? That was on the brain, so I must have been thinking it. Would you start Waddle? Would you start Waddle, Bateman, or Downs in the flex, Jeff?
I'm gonna have Downs here, full PPR.
We're that low on Waddle. It's that bad.
Oh, yeah.
We're down there, man. Damn.
Downs' second best game of the year came with Anthony Richardson in there. I think Richardson and Downs have good connections. So.
Say that again, Jeff.
Said that Downs' second best game of the year came with Anthony Richardson. So
people need to hear that a little bit more. I think people are way too down on Downs because of AR coming back. All right, underdog today. Tillman or wait for Lamb with the waiver wire if he doesn't go, and half PPR. Jagger. Is Tillman enough to make a pass on Lamb?
No. Personally, I'm going to put Lamb in because the Cowboys are smart enough to hyper target. That I will give credit for that. So,
all right, Brandon Earl, half PPR. Start one between James Cook and DeAndre Swift. Jeff,
there's a vomit bucket.
Swift for me. I mean, I think it's that bad on Cook against the Chiefs.
All right, Adam's in here with us. Good morning, football guys. Good morning, Adam. Fire the cannons. Burrow or Geno? 6 points per passing touchdown. Jagger.
I lean Burrow here.
I think I might be too high on Burrow this week. I might need to make that adjustment. I'm trying to get the feeling it might not be a good game.
I have him at 7.
So is that too high? Because that's about where I have him.
Jeff has him at 4. So only reason why I moved him. How's Brock Purdy that high? Actually, I have Jared Goff pretty high. I'm like gross on Jared Goff, but I think this could be a money game where they're just going to give it to the running backs and go home. So
yeah, his yardage is like 50.5. It's like that's an easy slam over right there, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had a hard fade on Jaden Daniels, so that created some of the difference potentially.
Jeff, we've reached the portion of the show that I think all of us look forward to. Myself, because I get to take a little break. Jeff, hit us with it.
Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Like I said, we are the most watched show with NFL players getting ready for their day and their fantasy lineups. And all those players out there, you are going to score touchdowns today. You will score points. We will get fantasy points. We will get fantasy goodness. Think positive, put positive out in the world, and you get back what you give in. And I am not going to click the red button.
Mm-hmm.
Who needs Ray Lewis when you got Jeff Bell, right? Like, unless you need someone taken care of, maybe. But
I know that. I know that Jeff, he charged his crystals last night. He's got him out. The positivity is just so high right now.
Burn some sage to get the demons out, and he's all
Yep.
good to go. All right, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
What's up, guys? Good morning. Thank you for having me back again. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. We're doing great. I am excited to have you back, and I told you pre-show what I wanted to ask you about. I live in Orlando, so I get to go to Disney quite a bit. We're annual pass holders. But you got to go to a very interesting Disney location in the most recently. Where did you go?
Yeah, we went to see Disney in Tokyo, Japan, a couple weeks ago. Yeah, it was quite a splendid place. They really know how to do it over there. It's pretty beautiful. They put in a lot of work into like all of their architecture. It's almost like a Comic-Con event because everybody picks like their best friend to go with. And then those two people dress up in a certain theme. So you had people dressed up as like Kingdom Hearts characters or like any other kind of like Disney theme character, movie. And they would all just kind of walk around and just enjoy the vibe. And they really loved it. It was very crowded, very, very crowded, but it's a massive, massive park. And yeah, we had a really good time. We wanted to stay at a hotel over there, but didn't get the chance to do that. But we want to go back and do it right next time because we had a toddler with us who was essentially losing her mind the entire day. So we were just kind of trying to keep the toddler bomb from exploding all day long. So we want to go back and do it right this time. But it is a beautiful, beautiful place. And if anybody gets a chance to go out there and do it, please, I urge you to do it.
Yeah, I was super, super jealous. I mean, usually I'm just jealous of your mustache, but this time it was Tokyo Disney Sea as well. So excellent. Well, I'm so glad you're here with us today. After your segment today, you're going to be heading over to the Discord to do the AMA over there. So that's exciting as well. Cool. Well, let's hop right into the questions, and we're going to throw the first one right to you. Chris, he's hiding from us, but he still has a question. Half PPR need 2 wide receivers and a flex. So out of Hopkins, we'll say Deebo Samuel, Jerry Jeudy, Estime, or MVS. Ooh, that's our first MVS question. I'm actually surprised it took this long. So sorry, where are we going to go there?
It seems pretty straight up Hopkins Samuel for me.
Yeah, I was about to say he kind of ranked them, to be honest. Like I'd probably swap Estime for Jeudy. But other than that, you did a good job, Chris.
So Estime in the flex and then Hopkins and Samuel at wide receiver?
Yeah.
That sounds hot. All right, Clayton Hazel. Full PPR need wide receiver and a flex out of Flowers, Shakir, Swift, and BTJ. Jagger, where are we going?
Another ranking for me. I want Flowers and Shakir. And then the other two, you're kind of worried about matchups. You're just worried about the Bears in general. And I guess the Jags too. It's just bad. It's just bad.
All right. Good morning, Dane. Good to see you in here again. Thanks for always your help each week. Hey, thanks for being here. Without you here, they won't let us sit here and talk. So, and they still might not let us. I don't know. I feel like every day it could be my last day here. So, ETN, Estime, or Warren, and PPR, Zare.
So I'm facing this lineup decision as well. I'm between ETN and Estime, but for you, Dane, I'm going to say ETN and Estime. Just cross your fingers and hope for the best for ETN. Hopefully he makes up some value in receiving. Estime, he seems pretty definitely not Warren because we've seen how the Steelers treated Warren coming off injury. They limit him a lot. So I'm very skeptical of Warren this week. So yeah, Estime and at ETN.
All right, Michael Regina here. Kittle, if he plays, do you take the chance? Or if he doesn't play, I've got Ferguson and Knox. Yeah, I'll just go Ferguson. I think that's probably the safest option of these guys. And because Kittle, it does not look like he is trending on the worst side of not playing, because the 49ers said he's probably not going to play. And they have been very cryptic this year. Not cryptic at all. Good morning, guys. Hey, Geek, what's up? Great seeing your faces again. It's great seeing you, Jeff. Love you having you in here. Tight end question for you. Hunter Henry or Dawson Knox? Zari, where are you going there, buddy?
Just one. Give me Henry.
Yeah. And Geek's real name is Jeff?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, nice to meet you officially, Jeff.
He is part of the Jeffs. There's a lot of Jeffs that will come for you.
The League of Jeffs.
Jeff. Yeah, it's like a real thing. Jeff Bell's part of it. Yeah, I've got to hang with Geek at the Expo one year. That was fun. So 2 questions from Ryan. He's a Packers fan and Grateful Dead fan, so he's got a lot going for him. Both in PPR. What order would you start? Tank Dell, Darnell Mooney, and JSN. Jagger. What order would you start?
Put JSN to the front, and Mooney. I guess Mooney's healthy. I know the Achilles thing popped up, but I think Tank Dell's last for me. So you reverse rank them.
Okay. And sorry. So if you're rostering Jordan Mason, would you drop him for the Bucs defense, or is that Brock Wright?
Maybe Jalen.
Jalen Wright, probably.
Yeah, Jalen Wright.
Would I drop Mason for the Bucs defense? I'd probably stash Mason.
I agree. I think people are writing Mason off way too quickly. I think what we saw to him was fantastic this year. And yeah, Christian McCaffrey's going to feed. If something happens to McCaffrey, you got another RB1 right there. All right. Mike Vidala in here. Good morning, Mike. Great to see you. Hey, guys, go Bills. Jeff, give me a player prop you like. Well, Jeff's gone, so he will not give you a player prop. But I gave you one. David Montgomery over whatever his rushing yards there at the moment. I saw it at 50.5 this morning. I'm slamming that. All right. And MJH, half PPR, need 2 with between D-Hop, Waddle, and Brian Thomas Jr. Zare.
D-Hop and Waddle.
All right. MJY 147 non-PPR scoring at tight end. Dawson Knox, Hunter Henry, Mike Gesicki, Will Disley, Jagger.
Hunter Henry, by a lot.
All right. In a guillotine league, Najee Harris or Chase Brown? We love you too, Mike.
Chase Brown.
All right. Bruce in here. Morning, Bruce. Good to see you, buddy. Hi, guys.
Morning,
London or JSN versus McConkey. Oh, so he's got London, JSN, or McConkey. Pick 2 in standard, Jagger.
Pick 2 in standard, JSN and McConkey. I know this is crazy, but like London is getting Surtanned. And I was again talking to Andrew Cooper. I feel like it's Kyle Pitts, Mooney, Bijan Day, while Drake London is like a sacrificial X.
All right. Sean Jackson. Good morning, gentlemen. Well, I don't know if Jagger's a gentleman, but we'll accept it. Half PPR, pick 2, DJ Moore, Brian Thomas Jr., Amari Cooper, and Jalen Warren. Zare. Pick 2 of those guys.
Give me Amari and BTJ. Yeah, this is a tough one. But yeah, the Bears offense is kind of just sputtering right now. DJ Moore is just completely disappointed and frustrated. So give me BTJ and Amari, and hope for the best.
And Jagger, I'm going to go with the way it's spelled. So do we want Sam Darnold or Geno Smith?
Geno.
Okay, Geno. All right. And Jay Goldberg in here. PPR bonus for distance TDs. So if you got a big home run hitter, touchdown receiver, this format plays in your favor. Who's the odd man out between Lamb, Adams, Tillman, and Sutton? Sorry. Bench one of those guys.
Oh, okay. Dude, this is I'm probably gonna bench Sutton. I don't know. It's tough. This is a tough one. What do you guys think?
I think it's Tillman for me, but it's like, I'm not confident Tillman, but Sutton has always been a big play guy. He's just been always been a Bronco. So it's the thing, but Bo Nix is figuring it out. So I'm kind of in on the Sutton Bo Nix connection, but Tillman, everyone likes Tillman and I'm just slow to get there. So I don't know. I'll default to Joey. Joey, help us out with Tillman and Sutton.
No, so I think Lamb and Adams, of course, are solidified. Yeah, you're starting those. And Sutton is the safe option because you know he can get you like low digit, double digit numbers. Like that's what he's going to do. If you need a home run, it's Tillman. But if you only need to get, what Sutton can normally put out there, go ahead and go for that.
And
because he'll deliver
for you. Before their bye week, Tillman wasn't really doing much until like the fourth quarter of that game, and he caught like a touchdown in what was essentially garbage time. I'm a big believer in Tillman and his skill set. I just don't know if the Browns are going to get cute and not target him for the rest of the entirety of the game, or it's the Browns offense and they're just weird that way. So yeah, I don't hate benching Tillman.
Those games in New Orleans are strange too. Like
they are very strange.
Saints are completely different at home.
They were supposed to be weak without Marshawn Lattimore, and their defense has been playing pretty good actually without Lattimore. So
it makes no sense. They're infuriating to have in your division. Let me just say that. All right, Mike's got another guillotine drama. I have to sit one out of these wide receivers: Lamb, Ladd, or Higgins.
Higgins.
Okay. And then GR in here. Dell or Hopkins, full PPR. Sorry.
Hopkins.
Okay. Well, look at this handsome guy here. Need to running back. Estimate ETN or antidepressants. Jagger.
ETN? You might need antidepressants. Just talk to your doctor. But
go ahead.
I was going to say ETN just for the volume. He's like the only offensive player on the Jags right now.
Don't do antidepressants. Go find yourself a good Sunday morning show. Do a guest spot on there. Have a good time. That'll clear you right up.
That guy has some dark humor. I don't
know. Herb Allen. Herb, I love that name, Herb. I've known one Herb in my life, and he was a really cool guy. So hope you're having a good morning. Good morning, guys. PPR League, Taysom Hill or Tucker Kraft? Sorry, which one of those tight ends are you more comfortable with?
Taysom Hill, baby. Big Taysom, yeah.
And then between Tillman and
TJ
McConkey.
Edwards.
And Tillman or Ladd McConkey. Yeah, give me McConkey in that high scoring affair.
Jagger, you want to say something?
I was just gonna say TJ Edwards. Like I'm big on not starting tight ends that are good tight ends against linebackers that are good in coverage, and the Bears have that right now. The only thing the Bears have going for them is defense.
All right. The Tommy Llama in here, full PPR, rest of season. So rest of season. So Kincaid or Taysom Hill, Zare?
Taysom Hill.
Love the confidence.
Mm-hmm.
How much did Dave Kluge pay you to say that?
I was there before Kluge was. I know he likes to claim Taysom Hill, but I was there way before he was.
All right, Jack in here. Good morning, Jack. Love seeing you in here, buddy. Need to stream at tight end and full PPR. So between Taysom Hill, Disley, Jonnu Smith, Gesicki, and Knox, Jagger, are we staying on this Taysom Hill train?
For this, yes. Yeah.
Choo-choo. All right, let's keep it going. Kittle's out. Disley versus Cincy or Taysom Hill? It's Taysom Hill. Waffles, we love you, Waffles. Ahoy! Keep up the great fantasy content. We're trying. We are trying. Andrea, great seeing you here this morning. Needs one: Hunter Henry, Disley, or Knox. Zare.
Yeah, so this is that range of tight ends where you're just throwing darts. Hunter Henry, can somebody explain the Will Disley? Is it just the hype around Will Disley? I just don't. I'm not there on him. He had it. Yeah.
He's a Jag, is what it is. And the Chargers have Ladd McConkey and then everybody else. That's what it is. It's Ladd McConkey and then, Quentin Johnston found the broken coverage, or Will Disley can catch a check down and fall down. But big for the dynasty folks that are here, because I know you are, do not buy into Will Disley as a dynasty asset. Do not do that to yourself. This is because the Chargers do not have talent and he's available. And that is my TED Talk on Will Disley.
Thank you. Usually I get with the numbers pretty quick with teams. This year, the whites on the Chargers, I cannot tell them apart. The numbers have not added up yet. So we need to get back.
Hayden Hurst, Will Disley.
I can't get them all. I get them all confused. So, all right, Dr. Kev's in here. What's up, buddy? What a good-looking crew. You're good-looking. Can't wait to see you. And 8 weeks. We're 8 weeks away, so we'll be all seeing each other. All right. Andrea, Tillman or Sutton, Tank Dell. Need one. Sorry. Pick one for Andrea.
Yeah, I think I'll take Sutton over these guys.
Okay. Oh wow, this is a big morning. Host of a very popular morning show for many years, Brian Williams, the nightly news as well. Thank you, idol of mine. Morning, Madison versus the Finns or Christian Watson against the Bears. Jagger.
Matter. This if you need a big play, Christian Watson. Like let's say if you need big points and a boom, but if you just need something safe, Madison.
All right. Hello, I'm Alex. Hi, Alex. You help make Sundays rock. Oh, thank you so much. Trade Amon-Ra St. Brown for Nico Collins in full PPR. Z, where are we at?
In full PPR, yeah, I do that. I think the only apprehension people have with Nico Collins is that if the hamstring injury is going to reemerge for the rest of the season, and I get that, but I'm more of an aggressive fantasy player, and I just take my shots when I can, and I'll take Nico over Amon-Ra St. Brown because I think when Sam Laporta comes back, it's going to dilute that target distribution again, and Amon-Ra might have a good week this week, and he probably will. But overall, rest of the season, I like Nico Collins above Amon-Ra. Nico Collins has been just carrying teams to the fantasy playoffs prior to his hamstring injury.
Yep.
All right, terminal sarcasm. Hola, mi amigos. Now, JB's grandmama, I see you in here. And I want to thank my co-host Jagger for saying, hey, watch out. Because you've got a lot of questions for us and you hid one in there. But we're not putting it up, but we're going to answer one of them for you. Between Chubb and Najee, Zare.
Ooh. Just Najee, I guess. I'll take Najee.
All right. Yeah. And then Brian Thomas Jr. or JMO will go JMO for the home run. And then Worthy or Juju or MBS. Jagger, where are you on that one?
I get this one, Worthy.
Yeah. So let's talk about MVS for a minute. Like that was he had, was it 3 catches, but they were 3 pretty big catches last week for the Saints. Is that a thing now? Is that just going to develop as the week goes on since there's really no wide receivers there in New Orleans right now? Or was that kind of a 1 week thing? What do you think, Zare?
I kind of don't think it's like, so I think he is like a primary target now, but I mean, expecting him to put up the fantasy points that he did again consecutive weeks, I wouldn't put the probabilities high on that. But if you want to play him, I think he'll get you some points. But I mean, it's always there now that we know that he can do it, and that's what they're kind of using him as. And the Browns secondary isn't anything to write home about. So if you want to, he could be like one of these second half season, league winning types, which he won't be. But I don't hate him. I mean, I stick him in there as a wide receiver 4, but I'd be ranking him out outside of guys like Cortland Sutton, Cedric Tillman, and these guys that we spoke about earlier.
Yeah, I'm wondering if MVS at home is going to be a thing. Like when it's indoors, it's like a track meet, and he's the guy to play. We'll see what happens from there. JB's grandmama, thank you so much for showing up. We do appreciate you being in here and keeping us on our toes. Jack with another question. Need to stream a quarterback. May, Richardson, Stafford, Tua, Rodgers, or Winston. Jagger, a lot of interesting options there. Which one are you most interested in?
Stafford is the safest. May is after that. I think the one I like the most. I like the matchup for the Pats against the Rams. I'm probably, if I'm chasing points, I'm putting May in over Richardson and Stafford. I forgot Tua is there. Damn, dude. Sorry, it's Joe. I'm probably gonna put Tua in actually, and hope for the big game because he has a good ceiling and floor.
You haven't had one in a while.
Sorry, Joe. Yeah.
That was a mild one. One. Yeah, that was like a good oops, Joe. Like
oops. Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't really count. My daughter had a sorry Joe in the backseat. A guy cut us off and she let one go. It was bad. It was bad. Mo, I want to thank you for the context of this question because I do think it changes with the second part. So Jordan Love or Russell Wilson is the question here. They are in a 2 quarterback league. And they started with Jaden Daniels, so they're a little worried because Jaden Daniels did have a little bit of a disappointing game on Thursday. So, Zare, you've got to pick one. You probably want to go with more points. Who do you think?
Yeah.
Good.
So, I think Russell Wilson is the guy that you'd want to lean into with high upside. But you got to remember, this isn't just Russell Wilson versus a weak secondary. This is Russell Wilson versus the biggest foe that the Steelers face, right? So it's going to get a little squirrely. Again, Jordan Love does have also a divisional matchup as well, right? They're playing the Bears, right? The Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you just want to shoot for the moon, go ahead and put Russell Wilson in. I'm using Russell Wilson because I have Kyler Murray on by, and I need somebody for a lot of upside as well. So just throw Russell Wilson in there, and it should lead to more fantasy points. It should lead to ceiling. But again, it is a big divisional game, and these divisional games always have a tendency to get real squirrely. So I'd put Russell Wilson in this one.
Did you guys see this? Is Tomlin and Harbaugh's 25th meeting today?
Wow. Really? Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder if they're like frenemies at this point.
They were saying that there was Tomlin said he remembers talking to him about what their kids were for Halloween, and now their kids are grown up. So that's how long they've been not just coaching in the league, but head coaches of those teams. So that's pretty cool. It's kind of rare to see that. I bet they get like a podcast. If podcast exists in the next 4 years, I don't know what could happen. I wonder if they get a and then have Kittle replacements been discussed already. Just got here. You know what? We haven't really discussed replacements. We've kind of said we wouldn't be starting him. We've had a lot of people asking tight end questions because of him. If you both have to, let's both give one probably readily available tight end replacement that's out there. Who would you go with? Jagger, we'll go to you first.
Hunter Henry would be, it's the one that's been brought up a lot. That's someone I like.
I like Dawson Knox.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Get the spray bottle ready. Mr. Scampers is here. Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Love seeing him. And then PPR, Tyler Algier versus Denver, Braylon Allen versus Indy, or Raheem Mostert versus Las Vegas. All right.
Let's go with Raheem Mostert, Las Vegas versus Las Vegas. Raheem Mostert, yeah, he had a weird snap share. He actually had like a lower snap share than Jalen Wright, but Dolphins fans are telling me that it was because of his fumble the week prior, so they were kind of doghousing him for like the 1 week. So hopefully he'll be back.
Afraid of Cook for sure. Okay. Well, I don't really like Cooks that much either. I like Waiters. Waiters are pretty cool. Rico, Andre Estime, or Najee Harris in PPR, or Jagger. Pick one of those handsome running backs.
Handsome's a strong word. I'm going to go with Rico.
Herms is here, everybody, and he's got a question for us. He wants to know if he's nuts for starting Davis Allen. That's not the reason you're nuts, Herms. But is he also nuts for that, Zare?
No, you're not nuts because it's the tight end position. Anybody outside like the top 5 tight ends is just as much of a dart throw as the next guy. So I mean, yeah, start him. He had like a high snap share this week. Maybe they're making an adjustment to Davis Allen. I was a big Davis Allen stan going into the year. I had him rostered all over the place. Didn't work out. They started Colby Parkinson for some weird reason. Yeah, Davis Allen, I'm a believer. Just start him. What are you going to do? You know, it's a tight end position.
There you go.
Well, he's kind of replaced Colby Parkinson. They were both playing, and that snap share was eliminated. So Colby Parkinson season, RIP, August of one season. So
yeah.
Right. Mind yours. Well, you mind yours. Don't tell me what to do. I'm the host of the show. Got Cleo, Jacoby, and Dell. Who to flex? So flex one of those guys. Zare?
Is that Khalil Herbert?
Yeah, I would Shakir.
Shakir.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who to flex? Yeah, put in Khalil.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And he was hesitant to double dip with Jacoby or she, not sure. Worried about a Texans blowout versus the Cowboys. So yeah. Lots of question marks there. All right, Michael in here. Estime or Quentin Johnston in the flex, Jagger?
Estime for ceiling. Quentin Johnston is a busted coverage guy. If something happens, he will get open. So I lean just Estime. But if you really, really need to chase those points and let's say you start at Jaden Daniels or something like that, or you got Saquon Barkley, I'm going to go put in Quentin Johnston.
Matt, thanks so much for policing the chat today. Shut up all game. Good morning, everyone else. Appreciate that. Get them out of there. All right. CPD. Hey, you're welcome. Rob, Start 3 out of Cup, London, Tillman, and Jennings. Sorry.
Cup, Tillman, and Jennings.
Perfect. And Z, you're going to be here with us about another 5 minutes, and then you're going to head over to the Discord, do the Sunday morning AMA. So if you guys have questions after 12:30, definitely want to hop over to the Discord, join up over there. We have a lot of fun. We have a dad joke channel where I rate the dad jokes on a scale of 1 to 10. And I'm a hard grader. I don't go easy on people. So yeah, get over to the Discord, join, and then we'll have the Sunday morning AMA over there to hit these last questions. If we don't get to them, hopefully we can get to them all though. PPR league, need one between Chubb, Tillman, and Jennings. Jagger.
Jennings. I know you're starting to. I know you're already starting to Njoku, but that doesn't. I don't factor in too much. You're starting 2 players for the most part. I know that's like bad to some, but that's why you stack. If you think it's a good game, you're hoping you're going to capitalize points from someone or the other. So I don't really think about that for a little bit of strategy for some.
Perfect. All right, Tashi in here with us. Tashi, I don't know if I've seen you before. Welcome into the show. I thought for a second that said Silence of the Lambs, and I was like, hey, I like that movie. But no, this is since
I could
Sam
see
is
it.
questionable, should I start Flowers? Z will give you.
I question who else you sitting to not get Flowers in your lineup.
Yeah.
That's my big question.
So what do you want to do here, Jag? Jag, you tell me what's going on with this question.
I'm gonna put Lamb in. I'm gonna put Lamb in. Because the Steelers are a good defense and they slow stuff down, but it is a rivalry game and it's squirrely. So that's what my point is. If you have Flowers, what is the rest of your lineup? So Toshi, if you can give us context, I really would like to know, because I want to hope there's a way to get Flowers in your lineup.
Yeah.
And welcome in once again. And if you've been here before and I haven't noticed, oh boy, I'm in trouble. All right. I'm leaning Goff at home. Yeah, go Goff at home over May.
Definitely go Goff. Yeah.
I'll fight Jagger on that if he says no. Okay, good. He said yes.
Did we answer
I didn't really
this one?
want to fight Jagger.
Yeah, we did.
Kick my ass. Oh, sorry, Joe. There we go. I had one.
You got one.
That's my first one. Yeah. All right, need one. Rico, Estimate, or Najee Harris? Z, what's up? Tell me.
Oh man, you know what? I kind of like Audric Estimate this week, primarily because I was looking into his numbers. And when the Broncos were trailing, he was the only running back on the field to play. Jaleel McLaughlin got 0 snaps, and Javonte Williams got 0 snaps when the Broncos were trailing. And common sense would tell you that Javonte Williams would be in when the Broncos are trailing because he is a highly graded pass-protecting running back, but he wasn't in. And the Broncos played 5 3rd and 7 snaps. Estimate played one of those snaps. Javonte Williams played 2. It kind of feels like Audric Estimate's role is pretty secure going into this matchup. The Broncos defense is very good, which will keep them in the game. And I think Audric Estimate is going to get the same amount of carries as he did last week. And hopefully he just falls in the end zone. Hopefully he gets a reception or 2. Also, I'm a big Audric Estimate fan, Dynasty fan. So that's a lot of bias going this decision. But yeah, no, I'll take Audric Estimate. I think the Cowboys offense is not there. And Najee Harris, it's a tough matchup against the Ravens defensive front.
Great breakdown there.
Yeah.
I was, usually we try to get through these really quick, but every now and then, like, I feel like there needs to be explanation, and you gave the perfect explanation of that.
That one needs a little, yeah.
Thank you. Yep. All right, Toby, and I'm throwing this one to Jagger. This is a Jagger question, night and day. He needs a New England Patriots wide receiver to pick up. Is it going to be Douglas or Butte?
It'll be Douglas. He's the one who gets he earns his targets. Booty is like our Quentin Johnston a little bit, but he has been actually winning deep. So, and I guess like Douglas is just really safe right now, whereas Booty, anytime you're putting him in, you're hoping for a touchdown.
I know on draft night this year, I was really upset that the Bucs didn't draft TJ Tampa. Booty on the back of a Buccaneers jersey would be great.
It would be good.
Booty. It would be really good. So, you know, if it doesn't work out in New England, come to Tampa.
Noted.
All right. Sorry, I got bad news. You gotta leave. But we do this thing now. I don't know if we've done this since last time. Do you have any parting words for our audience today? Any messages you'd like to leave them? Any inspiration?
Yeah, I have parting words. Sorry for my cat yelling in the background for the entire half-hour segment. Forgot to put him in the room.
I did not even hear it.
That's my only parting words. But no, good luck, everybody, and thank you for having me on. I want to impart one more piece of a little fantasy advice. We did see Jalen Waddle's target share go up to 20% last week after being at like 14%, as like a wide receiver 3. I think that may be in part to Tyreek Hill's injury, and they're kind of getting Jalen Waddle involved more. It would be great if he didn't drop a couple passes. But I think we might be seeing Jalen Waddle come back a little bit. So have a little faith this week. And that's it.
Perfect. Well, Z, thank you so much. We enjoy having you. I think you're going to be back with us one more time before the end of the season. So looking forward to that. And have a great Sunday. Enjoy that football out there today. Okay, buddy?
You too, guys. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Get him out of here. All right. Let's bring in Adam. Adam, what are you doing, buddy? How you doing?
What's up, boys? How we doing?
We're doing good. We missed you. We've got questions for you, man. Like we're actually not struggling that much, but we're just happy to have you. All right. Let's pull. Oh, Jagger got the injuries up for me and everything. So out today. Oh, wait, Adam, anything you want to tell us about? Anything cool happened?
No, this was a pretty easy week for me. I feel like a lot of teams really ruled players out early, so we weren't questioning too much. So it made my job a little bit easier this week, but there was a couple player injuries that I'm sure we'll dive into.
Yeah. I meant like your personal life, but if you don't want to get personal on the show, that's fine.
This is my personal life. Fantasy football is all I do all day.
I work all the time.
All day, every day. Yeah.
Look at me, Joe Bryant.
No play. Yeah.
All right. So let's look at some of these guys that we know are out today. Trevor Lawrence and Tank Bigsby. That does look like there's some changes coming on the horizon there in Jacksonville. Are you expecting Trevor Lawrence back for the end of the season, Adam?
So it's his non-throwing shoulder, so he could be back. I mean, it's a small sample, but looking at some players, this is a similar injury to what Baker Mayfield dealt with a couple seasons ago. Because this is non-throwing shoulder, he could play. He's probably going to need surgery at the end of the season. The re-injury rate goes up with any sack or any tackle. So I do think there's a chance he could come back. Now, whether the Jaguars decide to bring him back based on how they're doing this season could probably be another discussion. But it's a possibility. He could come back.
Okay. And what's Sam Laporta was declared out. So I kind of want to break that down. He's not had the best season, but he still is a tight end that people used quite a bit of draft value on. What is up with Sam Laporta?
Yeah, I mean, AC joint sprain is what we're dealing with. For tight ends, it's actually not that limiting. I'm just pulling up some of the numbers here. On average, players miss about 1.1 games. A low sample of players missing beyond 2 weeks, around 30% of players since 2017 at the tight end position. So I do think Sam Laporta, depending on the severity of the injury, could be back relatively soon.
Perfect. Also out today, Noah Fant. Isaiah Pacheco still out. Hopefully it does look like he's going to be making a return soon with Pacheco.
It does. I was talking to somebody else about this in the fantasy community because Kareem Hunt was a popular pickup, and people are asking, what do I do with Kareem Hunt with this Isaiah Pacheco news? I'm still holding on to Kareem Hunt. This is going to be a tough injury for Isaiah Pacheco to come back, especially his running style, how he plays. He had surgery on that ankle, so there's always a chance of re-injury. So do they give him the whole workload back when he returns? I don't know if that's necessarily a guarantee either. So Kareem Hunt, I think, still is in flex consideration even when Isaiah Pacheco returns.
All right. And then Harrison Butker also out for the Chiefs. Like I said, we don't normally put kicker stuff up here, but he changed his kicker delivery, and he's been landing on his knee every time he kicks the ball, and then he's got to get his knee worked on. So is he looking like he'll be back this season, or?
I mean, yeah, that's a tough one too, because we don't really talk a lot about kickers. I don't have a ton of kicker data in my database because typically they're not the players that are injured. Maybe for a deep playoff Super Bowl run, he could be back. I don't know about the regular season.
Okay. And Keon Coleman and Dalton Kincaid also on the outs today. Questionable today. Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb's questionable as well. What what side of questionable are these guys on at this point?
I think probable. I've projected Amari Cooper as playing this week. His timeline's pretty normal with a wrist injury. We see that with NFL wide receivers missing about 2 games. That's what Amari Cooper's missed. The Bills have come out and said that they're optimistic that Amari Cooper's going to play this week. So I lean towards him playing. The CeeDee Lamb, back injury, late addition to the injury report. We always get a little bit nervous when that happens. Team doesn't seem like they're too concerned. I'm not going to be too concerned. Sometimes with these high profile players, getting a veteran rest day, they kind of throw just a injury label on there when they're on their injury report. I'm not too worried about CeeDee Lamb not playing either.
Perfect. All right. And then expected to play today, Sam Darnold, Aaron Jones, T. Higgins looked good. Devontae Adams, Jalen Warren, and Nico Collins. T. Higgins and Nico Collins are kind of the 2 big names on this list, Adam. Are we expecting them just to jump right back in and be 100%, or do you expect either to be eased into their workloads?
So T. Higgins, I think in terms of workload and production would be the one that I'd be more comfortable about returning to his pre-injury form. I mean, obviously he doesn't have the same high ceiling that Nico Collins has. Looking at some of the numbers for wide receivers coming off hamstring injuries, players that missed at least 1 game, their fantasy production returns to their pre-injury levels. When we drill down a little bit farther to wide receivers who missed 4 to 6 weeks, I know that's super specific. Obviously, it makes the sample a little bit smaller. But the data suggests there is a slight adjustment period for those wide receivers, maybe knocking some of the rust off, about a 20% dip in fantasy production. But we talked about like high ceiling for Nico Collins. Maybe that puts him more in the wide receiver top 10, top 12 category, as opposed to like the wide receiver 5, top 5 wide receiver level he was playing at. You're still putting Nico Collins in lineups, even with that dip in production.
All right. And then George Kittle. It looks like he's not going to be out there this week. Are we reading the tea leaves right there? The coaching staff's pretty much said so, but
yeah. And this might be a re-injury for George Kittle. He was dealing with this, the first 3 weeks of the season, assuming it's the same hamstring. He was popping up on injury reports with a hamstring injury. I wouldn't be too concerned that's a long-term thing. I mean, George Kittle is typically a guy that plays through injury. Actually, I had him projected to play this week, so I was a little bit surprised when we learned late last night, early this morning, that he was not going to play. I'm not expecting it to be a long-term thing, but yeah, he's not going to play in week 11.
Perfect. All right. Just a reminder again, everyone, that if you go to the Football Guys shop right now, all of the items are 20% off leading into Black Friday. So get excited. Get some merch, put a Black Eyed Joe on your forehead, and you'll be happy. All right. Let's hop back into these questions. Oh, Jagger, you're muted.
If you tattoo Black Eyed Joe on you, you'll get a free subscription. I don't know if that's a rule, but we'll make it.
No, I can.
We'll make it happen.
I have the authority to make that happen. If you get a Black Eyed Joe tattoo, it's a free subscription for 1 year.
For life. That tattoo's for
level.
life.
Yeah, no, lowest level. Because if you get a Black Eyed Joe tattoo, you're probably pretty low life. No, I'm kidding. I have 3, so I shouldn't say that. All right, Andrew in here, our other hype man. Dozens of questions answered and third eye blind quotes. I'm glad somebody caught it because I did throw it in there. Did you get it, Adam, too? When I said it, did you hear it?
I heard it.
I did. Okay. I did not.
Somebody was talking about if they should jump off a ledge, and I said, "Please step back from that ledge, my friend."
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I understood it. I would understand.
Yeah.
We'll be here all week, guys.
Yeah. All right. How does everyone think Nick Chubb will do today? Adam, how's Nick Chubb going to do today?
I mean, I didn't really have high expectations for Nick Chubb coming into the season just based on the knee injury that he had. Obviously, with each week that he's playing, you hope that he's getting a little bit better. But, I mean, we've got him right now ranked as running back 25 this week. I think that's fair. He's a guy that's going to get touches. Maybe somebody like Najee Harris, who's ranked a little bit behind him, I would feel more comfortable about. But I think he's been fine for my expectations. I think those were a little bit lower than the general public. So coming into this year.
All right. And Cupboard Wilson, Jagger.
I like Garrett Wilson a lot. I love the matchup against the Colts, especially if it's full PPR. I'm rolling out a G Willie.
Morning, fellas. Ricky Pearsall or Quentin Johnston? Adam, pick one.
I'm going to go with George Kittle, unlikely to play. I'm going to go with Ricky Pearsall.
Matt, only NFC South peasants don't smash the lake. Yeah, well,
Yes, but I know Joey's NFC South, but everyone but Joey. So
I almost didn't put it up, but I was like, I can't. I gotta freedom of speech here on the show, so I gotta put it all out. All right, Walker. Oh, Kenneth Walker III or Hunt and Cup or Mahomes. So I'm guessing you have 4 options here. I rank them because I don't really understand what they're wanting to do.
definitely Walker. You want Kenneth Walker, and he's catching passes now. I know they've had a couple of ugly or weird games, but to me, Walker's high variance, and I'm going to put him in my lineup every week unless it's just an absolute dookie matchup like the Ravens. I think he's asking, should he play Cup or Mahomes in the super flex? I love this question, my guy. I love this question because a lot of people think, oh, it's super flex, I have to put QB, and you don't always have to do that at all. And to be honest, I think Cup and Mahomes' upside and floor are about the same. With that being said, I am going to put Mahomes because even though the floor and upside's the same, I do feel the safest about a QB than I do a wide receiver.
I need you to use that voice at least 2 times on the show per week going forward, Jagger.
On the Dynasty show, I've probably used it about once.
Yeah. All right, terminal sarcasm with Shakir, Flowers, Pickens, or Dobbins, and the 10-man full PPR. It's got to sit 2. So Adam, sit 2 out of those 4 options. You could have said start 2, but you wanted to be negative, terminal. I don't understand why.
Glass is half full or empty.
I think Jeff's
if it's a full PPR, I'm probably sitting Dobbins in that situation for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm stuck between. I'm probably
we're playing Pickens.
We're playing Pickens, and then I would ride the hot hand with Zay Flowers, and I'd put him in over Shakir.
Well, we had the same thought process. It's like, I know I'm starting Pickens and I know I'm sitting Dobbins. So that's really only one question.
Yeah.
All right. Full point PPR. Got to pick 3 out of this group of gentlemen. London, Pickens, Flowers, Jennings, Myers, and Tillman. So pick 3, Jagger.
Pickens, Flowers, Jennings for me. I'm setting London this week, and I'm going to feel terrible if he gets a touchdown, but I'm really worried that it's not his week.
All right. And we answered this one a little bit earlier. I think it was a different person to ask it because this person spelled Geno correctly. But it's Darnold, not Geno Smith. I didn't know if that was like borderline R word or not, but I just went with it. I think it's okay.
My fiance is Italian. I get a pass. So
okay, there we go. Just as long as one of us can. You guys got me scared with this trap game talk in regards to Pitts versus Baltimore. The trap game was Kansas City versus Buffalo. Did we say
I mentioned that. Steelers, they slow down the game because they're willing to run the ball and they have a good defense, so they're able to control it. Moreover, Baltimore has a good run defense, but what should make you feel good is Baltimore is a run funnel and they have a good offense, meaning that I think at the end of the day, this could be a shootout. Like, you're going to play your people, but I guess I should just say have anxiety when you put them in your lineup. That's all I'm doing, is giving you anxiety when you put these players in your lineup.
Well, Scott Hensley. Oh, what a beautiful family. Should I start Njoku or JSN with a flex? It's JSN.
Yeah.
And then, rawr, Jay Phoenix. Knox or Hunter? I'm guessing that's Hunter. Henry?
Yeah, it's Hunter for me.
Yeah. Who is Deontay Johnson? This is not
exactly.
Jeopardy. Yeah. Avos Arts. Good morning. Hey, good morning to you. Running back. He needs 2 between Pollard, Etienne, and Estime. Adam?
With Tank Bigsby out, I feel good about playing Travis Etienne. I mean, Tony Pollard's obviously been the better running back all season. I know Estime has been a popular ad, popular player that's, getting hot at the right time. I think I would still play Tony Pollard over Estime.
So Pollard and Etienne. I think they need two of them.
Yes. Yep.
And then for the flex, Estimate, Dell, and Pearsall. Pick one.
Pearsall for me.
Yep.
Okay. Theo Darling. What's up, guys? Start one out of Higgins, Reed, and Adams. That's a spicy question. So it's a super flex dynasty. Jagger, I'll go to you. You can only start one of those guys.
I'm going to start Adams. I'm going to start Adams because of the matchup. And hi, Theo. Good to see you. You are Darling. I don't know if that's your last name.
Hi, 100%. Mm-hmm. Hi again, my fantasy football consultants. Ooh, I like that. Can I put that on a business card? I just might. In PPR, Estime or Cooper in the late games. Adam, do you have a preference?
Amari Cooper?
Yeah, I think he's asking about Amari Cooper because he's worried about the him being on the injury report. I think Amari Cooper's going to play. So I'd be okay leaving him in there, but if you're somebody that's more risk averse, I think Estime is a good pivot.
Okay. And then one more non-PPR, start one out of Josh Downs, Jacoby Myers, and Josh Downs' twin brother, Josh Downs. Adam.
I'm going to have to go with the second Josh Downs. Bench the first Josh Downs.
Yeah.
Play the second one.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, if it was Jacoby Myers, what a bad beat for Josh Downs to lose twice in one.
But question. Can you imagine if I would have picked Josh Downs and not Josh Downs?
It's like, could you imagine?
That would have been really embarrassing.
Yeah.
So, but Adam, so let's stop with the jokes. I do want to talk about this. How far apart do you have Josh Downs and Josh Downs?
I rank them back to back in my rankings, and I thought that would be confusing for the reader. So I did put like Amari Cooper right in between them. So I have Josh Downs, Amari Cooper, Josh Downs.
Perfect.
I didn't want people to get confused.
Speaking of Downs, Mooney or Downs? Good morning, Annie.
I'm going to go with Mooney.
Yeah, I think it's Mooney Day. Like I said, I think it's everyone else but London Day in Atlanta. So,
all right, Jagger, you get out the ruler. It's time to smack some backs of the hands here. Jay has asked this question once before today. Jay, only got to ask him once, buddy.
Only got to ask once. Yeah, I'm the mean nun. I'm going to bring that ruler. Yeah, like I need to get this sign. I got a sign behind me. I can't see it, but
we talked about getting the board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Riverboat Rob. Hey, Rob. Flex PPR. Quentin Johnston, DeAndre Hopkins, or Ramondre Stevenson. Oh, first Ramondre question of the day. Adam, pick one.
I'm going to go with DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay. And MJ coming in here with, I think this was their real question. Josh Downs, Jalen Waddle, or Jacoby Myers. Does Waddle change this at all for you, or is it still?
No. Okay. No, actually, no. I am the target share talk from Zare kind of brought me back for it. And with this matchup, I'm willing to roll the dice. So hear me out, folks. On this day of November 17th, if Jalen Waddle doesn't get back against the Raiders, it's Jover. So
I need Jalen Waddle to come back badly.
Yeah.
He's been hurting me in a lot of leagues.
I started off in my home league of like friends from high school, like the one that I'm always making the playoffs. I started off 1-5, and I changed my team name to it's Jover. And no, I was 1-6, and I'm 2, and I've won every week since that. So it might not be Jover, guys. I might be there.
Sometimes that's all it takes is a name change.
Yeah. I needed it. Didn't change the avatar though. I kept that the same. Full PPR, need 2 wide receivers from these 5. Oh, Ben, making us work. Jaden Reed, Josh Downs, McConkey, Tillman, and Brian Thomas Jr. I think actually getting 2, that's pretty easy. It's going to be Reed and McConkey. And would you start a third wide receiver over Brees at the flex? Heck no. Get out of here. But have a good day once you get out. Yep.
Yeah, we love you, Ven, and we love your Star Wars theme. So,
Mhm.
Darth Ven, if
That's
you
a
will.
Mandalorian?
Or are you Mandalorian? Yeah, you're Mandalorian.
I think it's Mandalorian. I don't think it's
Yeah,
anything like
that's
that.
definitely Mandalorian. Sorry, that is not the way.
I understood that reference. Power it yourself. CJ Stroud or Bo Nix, Adam. Which young quarterback you going with?
Yeah, I'm not benching. Oh man, I was just gonna look at our rankings or back to back in our rankings. I'm still playing CJ Stroud.
And the Dark Knight's here, so I'm going to read this question as Batman. Hey guys, drop Deontay for Mike Williams. That was kind of Cookie Monster, actually.
It was a little bit Cookie Monster.
Yeah. Lower hockey pants. That's where I was trying to go.
Yeah. Thursday, October 7th. Oh, that's kind of, you got to do the Battinson. But I think I would do this. Is this? I feel ugly. Adam, is this right?
I mean, I'm not gonna be mad if you did. I guess my thing would be like, what are you getting with Mike Williams? I would just hold Deontay Johnson and like not necessarily pray for an injury, but like if someone on the Ravens got injured in that wide receiver, duo between Bateman and Flowers, maybe Deontay hops right in. I think he has a higher ceiling in that regard. I don't know if Mike Williams offers much.
And Mike, Dell or Knox, Jagger?
Dell.
All right.
Guys,
Easy.
Here's a good lesson. Because a guy ends up in a good position because of injury, that doesn't mean you have to play him if you have guys who are already good without injury. Sorry, Joey, go ahead.
No, don't say so, Jar. Darnold or Rodgers in a 2-quarterback league? Thanks. Adam?
I would go with Sam Darnold.
All right, we've got about 8 minutes left on the show today, so we'll try to breeze through as much as we can here. Dobbins, Ridley, or Tillman? Jagger?
Dobbins, I lean here for safety.
He goes down because of bad buys. Well, get back up. Logman, 02. I don't know.
Hey,
Pick
Logman.
3. Yeah, Logman. Very different from Batman. This is Logman. It's like a lumberjack with a magical axe. All right. Adams, Collins, Jennings, Flowers, or Tillman? Adam, pick 3 of those. Make it work.
I'm going to pick Adams, Collins, and Flowers.
Joe Tocco. If it was Joe Taco, I would have given you name of the day, but it's just Joe Tocco. So it's a good name,
again.
but not today. Yeah. Ethan, talk to your parents about why they named you Joe Tocco, not Joe Taco. Etienne or Cedric Tillman in full PPR. Jagger.
Eaton. Yeah, I'm kidding. Etienne.
Hugo came in with the rest of his question. Pick 2, Mostert, Braylon Allen, or Estime in full PPR. Adam.
That's not terribly down.
I think I'm going to go with Estime.
You get one more?
I pick 2. I'll take Mostert.
Yeah, I was supposed to say Mostert is like the easy one.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about Mostert. I think we might be seeing a shift to Jalen Wright. Like, I don't know.
I hope, actually. I have a lot of Jalen Wright, so like I want that to happen. So
Chris Gardner in here, my former partner of a film website I used to own. I don't know if this is the actual Chris Gardner. If it is, you owe me a phone call back because I still haven't heard from you. Pick 2 out of PPR. Mooney, Metcalf, and McConkey. Pick 2, Jagger.
I'm going to go Metcalf and Mooney. Are you worried about that Achilles, Adam, on Mooney or whatever's wrong with him?
No, he wasn't on the injury report. On the final injury report, I should say. So I don't think it was anything too limiting. I would be a little bit. Never mind. I'm not going to overthink that. Yeah, I'd be okay with Metcalf.
I wonder why Joey's giggling. So
someone was trying to go for name of the day, and they went a little sorry Joe-ish, and it tickled me. Okay. All right, Tua or Rodgers, Adam.
I'm sorry.
I can't.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. No, you're good. I'm probably going to go with Aaron Rodgers. Good matchup.
Okay. All right, Jacob in here with us. Morning, Jacob. Zay Flowers or DK Metcalf for wide receiver 2? Jagger.
DK.
And then James Cook, ETN Swift, or Josh Jacobs, Pick two of those.
Jacobs
Is it
for
Swift
sure.
and Jacobs?
Yeah, and then he's got a lot of running backs. So your bench should Cook. I think it's Jacobs and ETN. ETN for
Okay.
volume, Jacobs because he's a starter. James Cook has a bad matchup. Swift is Swift.
All right. Pick three out of Taysom Hill, Dawson Knox, Ferguson, Dobbs, Anthony Richardson, and Douglas. Taysom Hill is going to be one of them. And
Anthony
then
Richardson.
I'd put A-Rich in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then listen, if Lamb is banged up and the Cowboys have to score points, I don't think Jake Ferguson's completely out of the mix this week. And since it is Scott Fishbowl and his tight end premium, I'm going to say Ferguson. I'm going to go on that limb. All right, Steve Fisher, good morning to you. Steve, I didn't know if you're going to show up, but here you are. PPR, need two of Pearsall, JSN, Ladd McConkey, or Mooney. Adam.
I'm picking JSN and I feel like Jagger and you would say Ladd McConkey. I really like Ricky Pearsall with George Kittle out.
I don't hate it. I think Ladd McConkey is a floor play. Like Ladd McConkey is a safe 4 to 5 catches for 40 or 50 yards. But I like the upside of Pearsall. Mooney was actually going to be my second, or I think Ladd might have been my fourth option out of these guys. So
I was
And
just
then
impressed. Like I thought they were going to ease Ricky Pearsall kind of in last week, and they just threw him out there, and he was heavily involved. He kind of is like Debo light, and I think they like that because they can kind of use those two interchangeably. So I've been intrigued by Ricky Pearsall, but I'll admit I'm a little biased on that.
I'd like to see you call him Debo light to his face after he got shot and walked away from it. Just saying. All right, I'm going to read this next question. Half PPR, start Reed or McConkey? Adam.
Reed. Oh, sorry.
This is from Whistled Richard.
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna go with Reed.
Okay. Corey Fish in here. Very deep league with injury issues. Well, hopefully you get out of that hole. Oh, but you got a question for us. Worthy or Mike Williams? Jagger.
Worthy. They're the same kind of.
Yeah. Reed or Chubb? Adam?
I'm gonna go with Reed.
All right. Michael Ryan, PPR, Superflex, Caleb Williams or Taysom Hill at quarterback?
Were that bad?
Yeah. Is it though?
You're either gonna get the worst game from Caleb Williams or the absolute best game to just shove it to Shane Waldron. And I feel like Caleb Williams is a little petty like that. Like I could see him throwing 3 touchdowns today.
He's gonna paint his nails black with some like bad. His name is not Bray Long. It's not. It is now. So.
Gabriel, PPR league, Tillman, JMO, or Jennings? We've had this question in a different
So
form.
many Tillman. Jennings, I like the most out of all these, to be honest. But actually, no, JMO, because you're chasing points. I'm sorry. There's a lot of points in that game.
All right, we've got a couple minutes left, guys. And just so you know, if we don't get your question here, we apologize. Hop over to the Discord. Zare's in there answering questions right now in the Sunday morning AMA. So, hey, guys, need half PPR. Amari Cooper, Madison, Odunze, Elijah Moore, or Mostert. So it needs one. Adam.
I guess I understand why Amari Cooper's in here because of the injury uncertainty, but like to me, he's a tier above all these guys that have been okay in spots, but really pretty much inconsistent. So I'd be leaving Amari Cooper in there.
All right. And Tashi got back to us. Thank you in advance.
Thank you.
Thank you for the advice. Starting wide receivers are Cup and Shakir. So half PPR to start one more from Lamb, Flowers, and Brian Thomas-Jr. So the reason he was trying to decide between Lamb and Flowers, that was an earlier question, was because he's starting Cup and Shakir, and I think we do understand why that would be a case. So knowing what we know now, does that change anything, Jagger?
No.
Still go?
The only thing I would say is if your opponent is projected to have a lot of points, I would put Flowers in for Shakir. But if not, Shakir is really safe. So if you just needed to get 10 points, keep Shakir in. Thank you for that context. And good job at drafting good wide receivers.
Absolutely. Well, guys, that's going to be our show. And that's a sad part that we come to every week. Go ahead and like us here on YouTube, subscribe, give us all the love you can. Leave us comments too. I come back and there's never comments. We have a beautiful chat here, but it'd be nice to have a comment every now and then. Let's leave the guests with some words today. Adam, what do you have for the people?
Yeah, good luck to everyone out there. Make sure you're subscribing to Football Guys. We appreciate you guys checking us out on YouTube and hanging out with us on your Sunday morning. Injury breakdowns is going to drop tomorrow morning, so make sure you check that out after all the injuries from this past week.
Jagger, what do you got for the people today?
Yeah, guys, we're getting close to the playoffs. So if you are checking out because you have lost, come over to the Dynasty Show. We are forward thinking, and we could tell you about next year. We're already getting on some rookie content. Other than that, guys, love you. Sorry I gave you anxiety every morning by giving you stats and sad information. So
everybody, go out there, enjoy those games. Jeff said there's going to be lots of points today. So if there's not, his phone number is 851-722-8437. That's Jeff Bell. All right, everybody, have a great day.